We've been looking at doing some basic things with ffmpeg, but there's another application called ffmpeg2theora. It should be in your repositories. Go ahead and download it. It's probably not installed by default. And this application lets you very simply convert video or audio files to an open source OGG format. So let's have a quick look at it. It's called ffmpeg2theora. Now, one of the confusing things between this and if you're used to using ffmpeg, in ffmpeg you do -i, your input file, and then the name of your output file, whatever it is. Theora, you don't need the -i for the input, you need a -o for the output. So first, let's look at what files I have in this directory. I got two files. I've got a WAV file, a little song I wrote, and I've got an MPEG file, which is the same MPEG video file we've been working with in the ffmpeg videos. Let's convert the video first. We're going to go ffmpeg2theora, the name of the input file, and then -o for the name of the output file, and we'll call it output.oggv since this is a OGG video file. We'll hit enter, and it's not the fastest conversion. Right now, I'm with my computer, I'd say it probably takes twice the length of the video. So this is an 8-second video, so I'm going to say it's probably going to take about 16 seconds to convert. If it was an hour-long video, it'd probably take close to 2 hours to convert. All depends on the speed of your machine. It's not the fastest in the world. But now we can look and we can see our files here. I can play that output file. And there we go. We have our OGG video playing here. Now, if we close that, we can list all our files here. And we'll look, here is our original video file, here's our OGG file. Our original video file is almost 10 megabytes. Our OGG file is only 3, so it compress it down to about 1/3 the size. A little less than 1/3 the size, and that's just with the default settings on this, which is pretty good. Now, things you need to know about OGG video. OGG video is great. It gives you a high quality video or audio, but with a small file, and it's open source. Those are the good things about it. Bad things about OGG video is you do lose some quality, so you don't want to keep compressing over and over again with OGG video. You don't want to take an OGG video and compress it to an OGG video and then compress it to an OGG video. You're going to keep losing quality, but you get that with anything that's not a lossy format. So even with MPEG format, that's true. But the big drawbacks is it's open source, so anybody should be able to watch it, but people on Windows machines, and I'm assuming Mac as well, unless they install the codecs for it, they're not installed by default. So you're not going to want to send this to someone with a Windows machine. If someone with a Linux machine, they're going to be able to watch it no problem. So you got to know your target audience. And another thing is, it's not that great. Most video editors do not like it, but that's true with a lot of really compressed videos. I mean, and you're not going to be wanting to really edit OGG videos too much, like I said, because they're already compressed, unless you're forced to, in which case you really don't want to keep compressing it. So that's the drawbacks. I'd say the big drawback to OGG is just the fact that it's not mainstream. Even though it is a great quality and a low compression, people just don't use it because it's open source, and the main part of the world, it just for some reason doesn't use open source. But if you're using it for your personal use, or you know your target audience are Linux users, it's a great format. Also, Firefox 4 will play it, so if you know your target audience, even if they're running Windows, if they're running Firefox 4, you should be able to use HTML5 tags to play this, and hopefully that will become a pretty standard thing in the future, so you can use it in a lot of web environment things. So anyway, that's converting to an OGG video. And now let's see converting to an OGG audio file. This is great. You can do this with a WAV file or an MP3 file and probably other audio formats, but those are the ones we probably see mostly. And it's the same exact thing. ffmpeg2theora, the name of the input file, which is drill.wav in this case. And we'll say the -o for output file will be drill, and we'll just go OGG for this since this is a audio file. Now you can name the video file OGG as well, and I'm pretty sure most Linux machines will realize it's a video and play it, but it's good to name it with a V or a G just so the user knows what it is. It just makes things a little bit simpler. So once again, it takes a little bit to convert. This is probably a 3-minute song. But since it's not video, it's not going to take twice as long. It's almost done here. It says 1 second left. So it took 14 seconds to compress a song that was 3 minutes and 2 seconds long. So that's not too bad. Let's look at the file size on this. So we got from the original WAV file, which is 34 megabytes, down to 1.6 megabytes. And just for a comparison here, let's do ffmpeg and take the drill file, WAV file. We'll make that our input file, and we'll create an MP3 as well. Give it a few seconds to convert here, and we'll compare the file size. Now, you know, you can modify the byte rate and whatnot, or bit rate. So this isn't like a perfect test because I haven't really looked to see how they compare, but the MP3 is a little bit smaller in this case, and like I said, I think the byte rates are, the bit rate is the same. Yeah, so we got a little bit larger file here, but OGG file is going to sound better if you're really stickler. I'm one of those people. It sounds the same to me. A WAV file and an MP3 file sound the same to me as long as it's not overly compressed. Some people claim they can hear the difference, and those sort of people usually say OGG files sound better. So let's play the OGG file here. MPlayer will play it, and it's playing, and it sounds fine to me. Once again, you don't want to keep compressing it over and over again. You don't want to take an OGG file and convert it to an MP3, and then take an MP3 file and convert it to an OGG file, because you're going to be losing quality each time. So that's a quick look at ffmpeg2theora. Very useful, I find, for compressing videos and audio files I'm going to be uploading to my website when I know that the viewers are going to be Linux users, because we just love the fact that it's open source. It's great quality, rather small file size, but once again, if your target audience are Windows users, not going to be very useful to you, at least not at this point. So keep on watching. Visit filmsbychris.com for more video tutorials like this. Visit our IRC channel on Freenode, and also check out our forum at filmsbychris.com/forum. All those links will be in the description, and I hope that you have a great day.